Welcome to the Insurance Brokers Podcast Helpful Hints. Here we break down the best, most informative bits of our full-length interviews.
I think the starting point for this discussion really is about an incident, a loss that occurred back in 2005, where Tesco was having a new supermarket built at Gerrard's Cross in Buckinghamshire, and it crossed over the Chiltern Railway line that runs between Birmingham and Marylebone, as well as other places. The supermarket car park was being built over the line, and a tunnel was being created so that the line could continue to run underneath the car park. This collapsed. This tunnel collapsed onto the railway line. Like I say, in 2005. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but there was a significant amount of damage, and it also prevented the railway line from operating for about, it was several months anyway. So Network Rail owned the rail infrastructure, but Chiltern Railways was the train operating company, and they have the right to use the infrastructure under a track access agreement. So in common law, or in the tort of negligence, liabilities exist normally where one party causes a loss to a third party, and that loss is foreseeable. And the test for foreseeability the courts normally apply in the tort of negligence is where there's either some form of damage or injury. Now, in this case, the damage had occurred to Network Rail's property, but Chiltern Railways had suffered a significant loss of use or business interruption to their business, although none of their property, none of their rolling stock, for example, had been damaged in the loss. Now, Chiltern Railways were wise enough to foresee this potential situation, and in advance of the loss they had requested that Tesco provide an indemnity agreement whereby Tesco would be liable for any losses caused to Chiltern Railways arising out of the building project. So Chiltern Railway brought a claim under this indemnity agreement against Tesco, and Tesco accepted that they were liable under the agreement and sought to recover the claim, the damages that they were obliged to make under the agreement. They sought to recover them from their public liability insurers. The public liability insurance policy that they had taken out included a contractual liability provision, and it was Tesco's argument that, albeit this was not a tortious liability, solely a contractual liability, they argued that the insurer was bound to reimburse them by virtue of this contractual liability extension. The insurer felt differently, and the matter went to court, and it was eventually decided on appeal that the insurer was not liable under the contractual liability extension, and that particular policy provision only provided for contractual liabilities that were also coexistent in tort. So if there was a tortious or a liability in negligence or in common law for injury or damage, the contractual liability extension also indemnified for that, but only where there was this coextensive liability in both tort and in contract. So that claim was declined by the insurers, and it set some waves out across the insurance market, particularly in the construction industry and the property development industry, where these liabilities, frequently exist.
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed what you have heard, have any questions or feedback, please leave us a review and we will be sure to get back to you. If you would like further information on how Boston Tullis Group can support your business, or if you would like to join us on an episode, please do not hesitate to contact us.